Hello everyone, I hope that you had a fantastic weekend and that your Monday is going superbly. I'm going to be doing the first and last tag, which my good friend Jesse, aka Jesse the Reader, tagged me in July. But I'm doing it now, so getting it done. Just a couple months later, like 6 or 5 or something. The first question is, what was the first video you posted? What was the last video you posted? The first video I ever posted on YouTube was a video of a photo shoot that Jesse did of Kathleen, and I just went along and filmed, and then I made a super long, like 9-minute video with like 3 different songs, and I don't even know. I think that video still exists somewhere. Don't try to find it, but it's really, it's an interesting time. The last video I posted at this point of posting this video will either be a video of my Chicago trip, or it will be the video I posted last Monday, which was me going to the bookshop with my friend. The second question is, who was the first booktuber you ever watched, and who was the last booktuber you watched, and what was their video? The first booktuber I ever watched, because it was my introduction into booktube in general, was Jesse the Reader. Because he's my friend and I want to support him. The last booktuber I watched was Jessica at priceiswong, and I'm not really sure which video it was. It was a tag, and she did it with her husband, and I think it was about covers and finding things on covers. I don't remember the name of it, but it was something like that. The third question is, what is the first book you remember buying, and what was the last book you bought? In all honesty, I have a really bad memory of my childhood. I could remember like specific things and things to do with my friends. I think the first book I remember asking my parents if I could buy and read was Chronicles of Narnia, and the last book I bought, or books, were these two from the Book Rack small bookstore in my town, Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. Excited to read those. The fourth question is, what is the first novel you remember reading all by yourself, and what was the last novel you read? Like I said, really bad memory of my childhood, so I don't necessarily remember the first novel I read. I remember my mom reading A Wrinkle in Time to us, and I remember reading Chronicles of Narnia and just different stuff for school, like Between Two Ferns and other stuff like that. But honestly, I don't really remember. The last novel that I read was Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, whatever. And I really like this book, so it was really good. You should read it. The fifth question is, what was the first dystopian novel you read, and what was the last dystopian novel you read? The first ever dystopian novel that I read was The Giver, and which was required reading in school. And I really liked it, and it was just interesting to see a dystopian society. I don't think I knew it was dystopian until later, but I'm claiming that as my first dystopian. The last dystopian I read was technically Catching Fire, because I was rereading it. But in terms of first 3 reads, the last dystopian novel I read was Champion by Marie Lu, which was also really good. 6. What was the first paranormal romance you read, and what was the last paranormal romance you read? I'm pretty sure the first paranormal romance I read was Twilight, like everybody, and the last paranormal romance I read was Beautiful Darkness, the second book in the Beautiful Creatures series, whatever it is. 7. What was the first book that made you cry, and what was the last book that made you cry? Again, don't really remember. I do remember being really sad at Bridge to Terabithia and Between Two Ferns. Those two got me right in the heart. And Shiloh. I'm pretty sure Shiloh. I'm not really sure that I cried reading those. I don't remember. I'm sure I cried at something with them. The last book that made me cry was The Book Thief by Mark Zuzak. Oh my gosh, I bawled. Like, I haven't cried that hard in a book in forever, so I like tears like wiping my eyes every 5 seconds in the last couple chapters of that book. Man, but so good. It was really sad, but it was a really good book. Something like that. 8. What was the first series you completed, and what was the last series you completed? I'm pretty sure the first series I completed was the Chronicles of Narnia, because that's one of the first series I remember reading, and the last series I completed was the Legend series by Marie Lu. 9. What was the first book you couldn't push yourself to finish, and what was the last book you couldn't push yourself to finish? In all honesty, I don't think I've ever left a book unfinished. There was one book that I was so ready for it to be done, and I wanted to put it down, but I needed to know what happened. I think it was stolen or something like that. It was just ridiculous. It was stupid. I didn't like it at all. But I just had to finish it. So I don't think I've ever not finished a book. Ever. Like, I can't do that. I mean, I've taken a long time on some books, but I just can't not finish it. 10. Who is the first person you will tag and who is the last person you will tag? The first person I will tag is priceiswong, Jessica, over there. And the last person I will tag is Couture Book Loves, Kathleen, because you haven't made videos in a very long time, so I think that you should do this. I'm trying to get this all in really, really fast because my camera's about to die, so I hope that you have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye!